Good morning, good morning. You are now tuned in for another episode of It's Too Early for All That. I am your humble host, Jay, filmmaker, animator, and your guide to everything under the sun. I've got coffee in hand, excitement in my heart, and I'm ready to kick the day off with some fresh, hot takes. And I'm joined by no other than my right hand man, Lee. How are you doing today, my good man?
I'm doing fantastic. Fantastic.
Let's go. It's Monday, so let's get into it,
For the Houston area
Um,
only.
Houston area only. Yes, let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, so anime adaptations of popular games have seem to be the rise, and Netflix is really pushing and priming the pump, releasing anime adaptations of games such as Devil May Cry and Tomb Raider. I saw the trailer for Tomb Raider; looked kind of solid. Um, what is your expectation for these American anime style versions of video games? Like, is this the new cartoon for games?
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like with back in the day when they would use He-Man, the cartoon, and stuff like that and Transformers cartoons to pretty much promote the merchandise and stuff, improve sale, like
Yeah, pretty
bolster
much. Is
sales.
that the new version for? Is that how they push games these days? Because
Mm,
they used to like make cartoons of a game,
Maybe
or a movie.
they're doing it in a weird way. If that's what it is,
They're doing it
because
in a very weird way.
well, I mean, if it's to strengthen the brand, I get it, but they're not releasing these at the same time that they have a game release coming out. I think there is going to be a new Tomb Raider coming out soon, but as far as I know, there's no new Devil May Cry coming out. 5 was the last one that came out a few years ago, and I still love it. I love the whole series, but anyone who specifically with Devil May Cry, anyone who's into Devil May Cry already has the games. We've already been playing them. We've already been S ranking everything that we could. It might work with Tomb Raider. It definitely worked with Cyberpunk 2077 when Edge Runners came out. When they did that, it's weird. That anime, Edge Runners, reinvigorated the whole scene around the game of Cyberpunk 2077. So if anything, they should be releasing games at the same time. They should have done that with Castlevania. When
My point exactly. I feel like the crossover. I feel like you're just strengthening the brand, but you're not making it so where it makes me want to go pick up the game. Like there is no new Castlevania game for me to just jump into after I watch this series. It's the same for. I feel like they're just doing it to just keep brands relevant, but it's not really to move the needle for the game. If that makes sense. Like the Terminator TV show, right? Which was the anime is great. I'd recommend you to go see it, but there's no new Terminator movie coming out or no new Terminator game or any new merch for me to jump into after I finish this episodes of just greatness, So I think this is just to kind of keep the name out there and keep it hot and keep it relevant, but I don't really see this as something to sell games, which I think is really weird because I think people want to go into those worlds of Tomb Raider or Castlevania or Devil May Cry. And like you said, there's no upcoming games and they keep giving us blue balls. What's the deal?
Well,
I
yeah,
don't like it.
I
I
think
don't like
just
that at all.
overall, it's for strengthening the brand. That's it. I think that's what
I don't like that.
what everything. What you want them to sell you shit? That's what you say. Because
I
people,
want I want a companion to go with it. Like, I want a full idea. I don't want you to keep, I want a
that could
full
be
idea.
that could be the full idea.
Yeah.
Like, because there could be someone who just had like some script idea or like some idea for an because they never really have animated adaptations for most of that stuff when it comes to gaming. So it could be someone who's going like, why don't we've already done this stuff with video games and stuff like that. Why don't we expand the brand and the IP? So like, I mean, because as far as you know, the Tomb Raider thing
Mhm.
can take off, the Devil May Cry thing can take off and spin off into its own new monster, where then they could also have the main series of Devil May Cry going, and then like the supplemental video game series where it's based more on the anime. Because that anime feels like for Tomb Raider and well, not really for Tomb Raider, but for Devil May Cry, it feels like it's something different than what the games are. The games have their own specific, unique identity of how the storyline progresses. So
That's
when you watch
true.
a trailer, you try to figure out where in the timeline this Devil May Cry anime takes place. It's really it's sort of difficult to tell because it feels like it's before 3 just because of like everything that happens in the timeline. It has to be before 3 because there's no Virgil.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd also be weird if it was after 3 because 3 is chronologically the first one in there because I don't think he has like the story yet. It could just be its own thing, like its own.
It's funny when as the games kept going and the story and the story kind of ran out after the first one. So the second one is like before the first one, and then the third one's before the second one. I think if I remember the games
No, no,
correctly,
the second one's
but
after the first one.
the second one's after the first one, but the third one is before the first one, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but the third one he has the most powers. That's what I thought was the funniest, is because I was playing. I was like, he's got more powers in this one than he does in the first one. So it's like he loses powers over time. But that's just video games for you.
No, yeah. No, I know what you mean. He feel like
Yeah,
he feels much
he's way
more
more powerful in the third one.
braggadocious
He's way
in
more
3 and
powerful.
stuff like that, and more like 3 is like the definitive one for most people that play it. I'm more of a this is like a unpopular opinion or like just not a lot of people share this opinion. 4 is like my favorite. Well, 5 is my favorite one, but 4 is where I really, really started to like the series overall, even though I had played them all before. But I was too young to really like get into them. And then when 4 came out, I was like, now I'm actually like really fucking with this, which is funny because the guy who plays Nero, Dante's nephew in 4 and 5, is the voice of Dante in the anime. So I don't know, it's a little weird that they don't have. Well, I know why they don't have Ruben Langdon, the guy who's the voice of Dante in. I want to say he was Dante in 3, 4, and 5, if I remember that correctly. And they don't have him doing the anime because that motherfucker should have. He tweeted some shit that probably should not have been tweeted if he wanted to if he wanted to continue working in the creative
Lord.
field.
Was it about children or sexual children or something creepy?
Nah, I don't think it was anything that bad, as far as I know.
Oh,
It
okay.
was just more like conspiracy theory, territory, type shit. I watched the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix,
Oh,
and
how was that?
very, very entertaining. Even though I haven't watched wrestling since whatever the end of the Attitude Era was, and like maybe the beginning of what they considered the Ruthless Aggression Era. I'd say about 03, 04 is when I stopped watching it. And yeah, it was just I know a lot of wrestling fans that watched it. They were saying they didn't like it because it didn't have anything new. But I thought it was great. If it's for like more of a casual fan, like what I was, or if you're just interested in the history of the WWE and how it got built up and everything like that, and how it competed with other promotions, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's just weird, like because of course, it's while they were doing it towards the end, they start mentioning that you know his Vince McMahon's whole the sexual allegation lawsuit and all that stuff, all that shit started coming up. So they didn't have any more interviews with him towards the end. I think his interviews start cutting out around 2021, 2022, somewhere around there. Because after that, they were just like, nah, he was like doing like Diddy shit,
I read the
so he's not
allegations.
available.
I read
Yeah,
the lawsuits. Whatever they said that man did, he did.
I
They
fully
said he
believe.
was straight up suplexing hookers through tables. I said, what? Allegedly. Allegedly. Let me say that. Allegedly. I was
That's
like,
not, that wouldn't be
what?
the worst thing that he did. Apparently, he was shitting on some too. Um, or somebody got shit on, literally. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, watching that, you just realize, oh, this family, these motherfuckers are like just a bunch of carnies at heart for real.
Mm-hmm.
This is carny shit that evolved into like $1 billion corporation, which is really interesting. He's an interesting dude.
Yeah, he's
Is what I
very
could say.
interesting. The one thing
Yeah,
I'll say about Vince McMahon is even with him being a horrible person and him being everything that people are saying that he is, he's a visionary. Point blank period. He's a visionary. He saw a vision he saw a vision. He literally fought his own father for control of the company.
Yeah,
From
that's
what
in
I
there.
know, fought his own fought his own father because his father didn't see how far down the road that he saw it, and he saw it to the point where he was like going into territories where there was like smaller wrestling corporations, and he was literally like, no, on some like drug dealer type stuff. This is my block. Your state is my state. This is my state. He was just coming in and bogarting on people and physically fighting them. And when I read about that, I was just like, damn, Vince
That's
McMahon
in
is a
there.
whole different breed. Yeah, it's a whole different breed. See,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it, but I know enough about Vince to know that what he did and how he pushed wrestling forward as a entertainment staple, he saw the vision. And I could compare him to, like, I guess maybe Dana White is like the Vince McMahon of our day, of our time. Somebody that saw something and just was like, it's gonna be huge, and he just willed it to happen. And he's taken wrestling to a level that um, it surpassed him, but he's still trying to like be a part of it. But you just have to know when to step back and let the young people take over, because you can't hold on to the rope forever, and that's what's happening with. You see it in a lot of sports. You see it with hell, the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is the older owner, and you see that like the game of football is surpassing him, but he won't let go and let the next generation take over. And it eventually always comes back to bite them in the ass because they move old school ways. Like they don't realize that like the time is catching up to them, and you can't do the same shit you did 40 years ago. You can't call women bees and keep women out of the locker room because like they're reporters now. You know what I mean? Or things like that. Like times are changing, but they're not changing, and they think that they have the same power guard, and they think they can still muscle people. So um, I say that to say that these old dudes, the reason why they're getting in trouble, the reason why they're getting outed is because they're taking too long to hand over the reins to the next generation who understand how you can and can't move with these younger people, you know? So Vince got in trouble, or is getting in trouble. Diddy and the Diddler, he's in trouble. Jerry Jones, he didn't get in trouble, but he got in trouble for like having hookers, or was cheating on his wife like openly. You're moving like old school. There's cameras everywhere. You can't bring your hooker to the skybox. Like people pull out cameras,
And she will
because
post about it.
yeah, she will post about it. So, you just got to remember that, like, you have to know when to step back, because these young people move a lot different than these old people. Young people want clout. Old people knew how to, like, play their role and just stay out of it. Like, I'm just saying, like, older hookers, I guess, I don't know, like they knew how to play their role. Like these young hookers, they want fame. They want to screenshot you and post you. So these old dudes don't get it. They're like, "What? Why would she tell my wife? But I paid her." It's like, hey man, it is what it is. So I don't know, man. I do respect Vince, but I also know that he's a very awful person. But I do respect the hell out of him.
I respect what he's done. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I respect him as a man. I respect him. I know he's an awful human being, but I still respect him. Does that sound weird?
I
I
mean,
don't
let
know.
them decide.
Whatever.
If we're still allowed to
Okay.
do this, if the comments aren't all fucked up, they have your fucking answer.
How do you respect someone who's a piece of shit?
He's a rape.
I see.
Sorry, I was thinking about that clip. Vince McMahon, get out of
Which
here,
one?
you rapist!
Oh yeah. Legend, bro. Legend.
Rocksteady, the developer of the Batman Arkham games, working on a new Batman game after the Suicide Squad game that came out, and I'm not sure if they worked on the Arkham VR thing, but I'm pretty sure that was them, or like some shoot off team of them. They're working on it's rumored that they're working on a new Batman game, and I'm hoping it's a Batman Beyond game. And it's also rumored that
Mhm.
Sony is looking for exclusivity, for probably
Is that
timed
good news or
exclusivity.
bad news?
Good news for me because I don't give a fuck about any other platform. Well, I mean, except for Nintendo, but
Oh,
no.
Sony's looking for exclusivity. Okay, all right. When you said Sony, I immediately assumed film rights for some reason.
No,
But then when you
no.
said Sony is exclusivity, okay, so they're trying to make it for the system. Okay, all right, that's
They're
cool.
trying to get them, yeah,
Okay,
to make it straight for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, whatever it's going to come out on. Most likely 5. I don't think the 6 is anywhere is coming out anytime soon. But it's probably like 5-6 years away. But yeah, I'm just hoping it's a Batman Beyond game. That's my main thing. They already did the whole Arkham trilogy with that one offshoot game, the Arkham Origins game that was made by Warner Brothers Montreal. So,
it's
they
just gonna
don't
be
have to.
weird. Yeah, yeah.
Well, which part?
Well, the fact that if they try and do like try and add to the Arkham, games, it's just gonna be weird because Kevin Conroy is not gonna be voicing Batman,
No, yeah, exactly.
uh, unless they have AI. But if they did like Batman
They wouldn't do it.
Beyond, then we could get a new voice for Terry. I don't care who it is. It can be
No, not Terry. Like Will Friedle is still, or Friedel. He's still alive. He should be Terry. That's the only Terry I would
Well,
want.
they always have don't they have other people voice Terry?
I don't think so. I've never heard of another person voicing Terry McGinnis before.
Well, I thought they. Well, I had to look into that, but yeah, that doesn't bother me. They can bring in somebody new. It doesn't bother me. I'm not that attached to Will Friedle.
Oh, I totally am. Like that's Terry McGinnis.
I'm
So
not.
they could easily
They can
get
bring in
him
somebody
in
new.
because he's already done video game voice acting before, so he's already experienced with that. So bring him in.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, who would voice him? Because Bruce Wayne is still a very big part of that property because that's who mentors Terry. Well, I mean, if it is a Batman Beyond game, who knows what the fuck it is? But sorry, go ahead.
That was Kevin Conroy. So over the weekend, I don't know. I think I encountered a ghost. I think I encountered a ghost. Okay, so outside my apartment, I was walking the dog Guillermo, and there was a woman sitting by right outside the front. She was sitting by her bicycle. I never seen her before, and she was an older Asian lady, maybe like I don't know, late 40s, older than me. Yeah, and she was just sitting by her bicycle, just kind of like looking around, like all scared, right? And I walked Guillermo, and then when I came back, she stopped me and she said, "Hey, are you new here in this building?" And I was like, "No, I've been here about a year." And she said, "I've never seen you." And I said, "Well, I've never seen you." And I seriously had never seen her in in the building. And she's telling me about what happened to her bicycle, and she's telling me that like she parked it um, in the back of the apartments, and that somebody was messing with the lock, and that she was just telling me that she, basically her whole bike was just messed up. But I looked at everywhere she was talking about. She said, "Look at the handles, somebody bent it." And I looked at the handles. The handles was like brand new and everything, but the handlebars were bent. I go, "Oh, it's weird." And she was like, "Yeah, somebody messed my whole bike up." And I go, "Who would mess with your bike?" I'm just like thinking, I'm like, who around here would mess with your bike? Nobody really touches anything around here. So she's telling me about the bike and how someone broke her lock, tried to steal her bike. I'm just like, oh man, well, I'll look out for people that are stealing bikes. I mean, it's the best I can do. It's 8 o'clock at night. I don't know what you want from me, lady. I'm not the police. So I like literally go in the apartment. I go back home. I call it a day, whatever. So the next day I take out the trash and then I walk in the back and where the bikes are kept. And I saw her bike, but it was the exact same bike from the woman that I just saw it like last night. But it was the bike, but it was covered with cobwebs and it was rusted. The handlebars that I saw that were like new and silver was now rusted, and like the bike's been sitting there for years, bro. This bike is not new at all. The tires were deflated and it was just hauled out, like, but it looked brand new when I saw it like the night before. And I was like, I never seen that lady. I don't know. It was weird. So, yeah.
What are you in a fucking Goosebumps book?
Bro, I'm telling you what happened to me, man. That's what happened to me, bro. I don't know.
That's the most fucking Are You Afraid of the Dark Goosebumps fucking ass story I've ever heard in my life. You run into like,
I'm telling you what happened to me, bro.
You know what I was doing while you were telling me this? I was looking off to the side, looking for the name of that chick. I was pretty sure I had the name, but I wanted to make sure I had the right name. Did you run into the ghost of Alyssa Lamb?
Alyssa Lamb. What is
Alyssa Lamb? The fucking
Is
the
that a
Canadians.
Nickelodeon show?
No. What the Alex Mack? Is that who you're thinking of?
Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking about. Who are you
No, that
talking
Asian
about?
chick that went missing in that hotel in Los Angeles or some shit. Didn't they find her body in the water tank above the
No, her
hotel?
name was Jody. Her name was Jody. I do remember the ghost lady's name. Her name
Nah,
was
it
Jody. It
was.
wasn't Alyssa Lamb.
Wait, hold on. Who disappeared from at the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles? Where do you live? While she was traveling across the U.S., she's from Canada. That video, it was a weird ass video where she was filmed in the hotel elevator before she was vanished. She was doing weird shit, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure that chick was
I
found in
understand
like
who
the
you're
what?
talking about, and I've seen the doc. Yeah, but
Yeah,
speaking of which, yeah,
that's on your side of
but
town.
no, it is. It is. That's like 4 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah.
But no, that's not who I saw. But I don't know. I think I saw a ghost.
How old was she?
I don't know. She was late
No,
40s,
guess.
45, 46, 47.
Hmm. She died in what is that? 10 years ago. She was 21.
Why would a ghost age? Man,
I don't
shut your
know.
ass up.
Why would a ghost
You ain't
age?
never met no ghost. You ain't never met no ghost
How are
like
you
me.
telling me to shut the fuck up when you're over here talking about goosebumps and shit? What the fuck are you talking about?
I met a ghost.
I saw the
and
bike
you're
and
just
it was all
jealous.
rusted with cobwebs and shit. I had never seen it
You're
before.
jealous.
I had
Wow,
never
this is
seen.
sad.
I'm jealous that you ran into
Yeah,
fucking
you're
Jeepers
jealous that
Creepers.
I saw a ghost. I saw a ghost. And you
Okay.
didn't. It's pathetic. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm
All right.
jealous that you're like fucking closer to the afterlife or whatever the fuck.
All right, man. Well, anyways, this has been a Monday.
Touched by an angel ass motherfucker. You fucking dickhead.
Okay. Anyways, this has been another episode of It's Too Early for All That. Enjoy your Monday. And if your boss is giving you too much work, don't break into his house and hurt him. Just do it. Just do the work.